Halloween Kills dropped last night, and holy crap. Michael Myers turned up the kill count. Just straight brutal. He survives the fire at Laurie's compound. And man, he takes out the entire fire department. And in this one, they flash back to bring the original one into the story and how some of the original people have returned. Sheriff Brackett, Lindsay, one of the other girls, Laurie babysitted, Tommy Doyle, Nurse Chambers, all survivors. The little boy that accidentally bumped into Michael Myers on Halloween night, all come back. And Michael, going from the compound, goes to pure mayhem. But at the same time, after they find out about the fire department, Tommy Doyle causes mass chaos and getting mobs together, but the mobs are not thinking. They don't even know what Michael looks like. On top of that, when the doctor, the nurse, Lindsay, and Nurse Chambers get caught in a car in a battle with Michael Myers on top of the car, he gets Nurse Chambers, finally, and kills the other two. One of the best kills is when he's in the car after he kills the nurse with the knife in the eyeball. The doctor tries to shoot him, but he's quicker than her and kicks the door, and she shoots herself. That was an awesome kill. But Lindsay somehow manages to run and hide under, like, off to the side, below some trees next to a bridge, and Michael just continues on. But what's also cool is they paid homage to Halloween 3 with Season of the Witch, where he took the other three he killed over by the car and put the mask from Halloween 3, the skeleton, the pumpkin, and the green witch, which was pretty cool. But with the mob running around going crazy, they know they're looking for Michael Myers, but they don't know what Michael Myers looks like. Once again, a group trying to cancel somebody out becomes the monsters. And at the same time, if you remember from the 2018 Halloween, the other crazy guys that escaped. Now you remember the short, fat one with the big head. He enters the hospital because he's scared. He's just scared. He's a crazy guy. But the mob thinking he's Michael Myers. See, a mob and the canceling out stuff just proves you're a monster. Then they trap him upstairs, but Laurie's daughter tries to help. But because the mob is going so crazy, coming from either end of the hallway in the hospital, the crazy guy busts the window and kills himself. Which makes the mob look totally stupid because they were unorganized. They don't know what they was looking for. And Laurie's granddaughter is going directly after Michael. Now, the little boy that accidentally bumped into Michael Myers in the very first one is the dad of Laurie's granddaughter, her boyfriend from part 1 that cheated on her by kissing another girl. So them three figure out Michael's pattern, that he's going right back home. Go home, Michael. Loomis. Anyway, the dad goes in the house thinking he's hot shit and he's gonna do it and all this. But then the kids only wait like a few seconds and they enter the house. As they're entering the house, the granddaughter finds the two gay guys Michael killed and laid them, all nice and sweet with love music playing, which proves Michael's pretty messed up. But Lindsay's ex-boyfriend, whatever, goes in the hallway to search, but then he feels blood dripping on him. And he looks up, and his dad is folded up in them, them small attic doors that some houses have. It's not a big door, but you can see his dad is folded up, crumpled up, and shoved, hanging out the attic door. Then he runs into Michael. He can't shoot a gun. He's getting his ass kicked. The granddaughter shows up and just starts shanking the hell out of Michael. But then, Michael being Michael, he don't give a shit. He fucking backhand her down the stairs while he just continues to stomp the shit out of her boyfriend. I mean, all over that hallway. Banging his head off the floor, the rails, the wall. And then puts him in between the rails next to the stairs and just bangs him all over the place like he's headbanging. Then Michael comes around and comes down the stairs. And this proves how sadistic he looks, because he pauses and looks at, I guess it would be his grandniece? Yeah. And just looks at her, but then looks at her boyfriend, who's like an inch away from death, and snaps his neck backwards. Then he goes down to go after her, and she stabs him again. But as Michael has his back turned and the front door is wide open, Lori's daughter pops up and stabs him in the back with the pitchfork. And he falls on the stairs, and she stomps his head and rips his mask off. And Michael being Michael, he gets his ass right back up and follows her out the door. And then she keeps taunting him. At one point, she runs around the other direction and leaves his mask in the middle of the road. Michael sees this and goes after it. Let's pause right there, because meanwhile, Lori and Officer Dawkins are in the hospital talking about Michael Myers. Lori can't really do anything because when that mob went nuts, because she got stabbed in the first one, she was sewn up this time. But when she was in the middle of that mob, a cop tried to stop her, and she kneed him and ripped open her stomach again. So she's pretty much useless. But her and Dawkins are in there talking, and how Dawkins feels bad all these years later because he stopped Loomis from killing Michael and lied how him and Sheriff Brackett covered up how he killed his teammate that night in the same exact spot Michael killed his first sister when he was a kid. And Lori's talking about how Michael is so evil, but every time he kills, he transcends. He becomes stronger. Some evil of not of this earth. Now we go back to where Michael is, and he's in that mob. Well, he finds his mask, and the mob is all around him. Tommy Doyle. Every one of them, almost the whole town is right there. And they go to beating Michael down. I mean, they hit him with everything. Even one dude shoots him like 5 or 6 times. I didn't exactly count the shots. And Michael hits the ground, and Laurie's daughter, who claims she's Little Miss Innocent, she won't do nothing. She sees the knife Michael's reaching for. He can, he's been beat up so bad he's shaking and passing out. She picks up the knife and stabs Michael. Then she goes back into the Myers house. Like she's in a daze after stabbing Michael. She goes up to that original bedroom where her aunt, Laurie's sister, was killed. The officer was killed in the same exact spot of the window. But she goes in the window. And it was said by Wallace that when Michael looks at that window, he sees a reflection of himself and is forced to look inside himself of what he's become. While she's slowly walking in the house and walking up the stairs, she doesn't notice that Michael stands up and puts his mask back on and becomes like Super Mike. And he takes out the entire mob. Even, damn it, Michael, took out Tommy Doyle. And it was just brutal. He killed him in every way, slashing all the body parts, eyeballs, hands, and all that. But then, the granddaughter, when Michael had threw her down the stairs, her thigh was broke. So she couldn't really move. And they took her off. But then Laurie's daughter is upstairs in that room, staring at that window, still in like a daze to look at what she's become, because by chasing Michael and going after Michael, you become a monster of sorts too. That pure evil made you evil. And he kills Laurie's daughter. Stabs her to holy shit. Now we go back, and the only OGs left from the first one is Laurie Strode, Officer Dawkins, Sheriff Brackett, Laurie's granddaughter. It seems like in this one, Michael came back not only for Laurie and his bloodline, but it seems like he came back to take out everybody he ever faced from part 1. The flashbacks of tying in the first one and the secret of Dawkins, and how some of the OG characters have come back in this one and tying them into the movie. And Michael being on a whole new level of brutal. Has some great kills. I give this one a strong B. But if you look at it as a story, it's going great with the first one, the second one, and now this one. I can't wait to see the next one. Halloween, Michael Myers.